Good evening, everybody. We're going to get started. We're so excited you've joined us for our kindergarten virtual open house this evening. My name is Mary Barnes, and I'm the principal here at Portersville Christian School. And I'm just going to give you some brief information before I turn it over to our head of school. So Portersville Christian School, if you're not too familiar with us, we are a K-12 private Christian school located in Portersville, Pennsylvania. We are just 1 mile off of Route 79, and we're located on Route 488. We're real close to Moraine State Park, and in this slide on the right-hand side, you can see the beautiful view out the back of our school. It's overlooking our soccer field onto Lake Arthur. So we have an extremely beautiful view out the back of our school, which you can't appreciate when you're driving in from the front, but so we thought we'd include it so you didn't miss it. And then on the left-hand side, you can see the front of our school and one of our buses, and we wanted to highlight that because that's a unique part about our schools. We have our own bus fleet, which our families really like, that we have our own bus fleet that, you know, are employed with our own bus drivers, and it's just very convenient. So on to our next slide. We are located about 20 minutes from everywhere, right?
Yeah.
20 minutes from Cranberry, 20 minutes from Elwood City and Butler. So you can see on this map that where we're located there, and then the stars are some of the school districts or towns that we service. And if you look at that list there on the right-hand side, these are just some of our school districts that we draw students from. We have got Slippery Rock and Butler, Elwood City, Grove City, Seneca Valley, Laurel and Newcastle, New Wilmington, Knock, Pine Richland, and there's even more than that. So we have, we draw from lots of different school districts.
Right. And so we know that you're here for kindergarten open house, and we are going to get started here and jump right into that here in just a minute. But I just also wanted to help you keep the end in mind. So as Mary said, my name is Jamie Kobolka. I'm the head of school here at Portersville Christian School. We are a K-12 school. And so our vision when we have students who walk through the door is that they would graduate or leave here with a heart for God, ready to serve him in every area of life. And so that is what we're building towards, we're working on each year, and it starts the foundation right here in kindergarten. So that's a little about our mission and our vision. And then the last thing before we turn it over to our host tonight is just to focus on why do families choose PCS. And if you ask some of our current families, I'm sure you'll get a lot of different answers, but I think that some of these will come up. And the first one there is our strong academics taught from a biblical worldview. So not only do we have Bible class every day, but all of our subjects are taught from a biblical perspective. And then we have our caring teaching staff, our admin staff. Everyone is just very welcoming, very caring. We do care about our students. Every one of our staff members are professing Christians. And so we do have just that unique environment as well. We do offer athletics and fine arts. A lot of times that's not until the students get a little bit older, but you know, you don't have to sacrifice athletics or fine arts just to come to a Christian school. And then, I mean, once we get into high school, we are prepping for college. We have dual enrollment classes with some colleges in the area. And so we are academically rigorous, preparing students for what's beyond high school. And then finally, you know, is the small class sizes. We really try to get those intimate relationships between our teachers and our students. And so that's something else that we really strive and try to be intentional about, is the size of our classes. So, right. Well, I hope that our hosts are ready. So on our other screen, you'll see them there. The first one is Goldie McElwain. She is our marketing and enrollment director. She's actually kind of new to the PCS family. She joined us about 6 months ago. We've really enjoyed getting to know her and working with her. She's been doing some great things around the school, and we love Goldie. So.
And I'd like to introduce you to Joyce McCaslin, who's with us. You can see her picture there, and she's live. Joyce is our kindergarten teacher, and Joyce has been part of the Warrior family since joining us in 2003. She's certainly left her mark on many students over the years and is much loved in the PCS community. So thanks for being with us, Joyce. And I'm just looking forward to what you ladies have to share with us.
So while Goldie is trying to figure that out, she has a video that she wants to share. And Goldie, you just give me a thumbs up when you're ready, okay?
Is the screen share working for me? Like, is it ready for me to hit play right now?
Yes, it should be.
Okay. Well, then I'm ready to hit play whenever you guys are.
Okay.
Is there something that I have to do before I go to screen share mode?
When you click share screen, did you choose desktop?
Okay. I don't see a desktop option. I just see screen option.
All right, and what's it say?
Oh, I see movies and TV. That should work.
There we go. Yep, that's
Okay.
it. We're starting.
Okay.
Yep,
All right.
there you go, Goldie.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Joyce McCaslin, Mrs. Joyce McCaslin. I'm the kindergarten teacher here at Portersville Christian School. This is my 18th year here at Portersville and my 29th year of teaching. At Portersville, our curriculum is mostly biblical based, and what is secular, like our math book, we use just a regular, it's Macmillan, McGraw-Hill, but I bring in Christian principles, like God is a God of order, and we talk about, the days of the week, and we use, talk about creation when we talk about those. So I bring in Christian principles when we're doing what would be considered more secular kind of material. But of course our Bible, they have coloring pages that we do, and I also have others that I supplement with. And our reading and phonics, which is our main curriculum, is Bob Jones, which is Bible based. It brings in the science and history aspects in some of the stories and some of the activities that we do. In a typical day, we start around 8:21 is when the first bell rings. And when they come in, they put their things away, and we have free time, playtime, where they can play and pick an activity. There's games, or we have a kitchen that they play in, and there's dinosaurs and blocks and all kinds of activities that they can play with. And because kindergarten, a large part of that is learning to cooperate and get along with each other. And so, it's all totally monitored as to what they do, and to make sure that we're sharing and treating each other the way that we should be treating others. So we have that, and then we clean up, and we have our opening exercises. We always start our day with prayer, and then we do our pledges to the American flag, the Christian flag, and the Bible. And we also sing songs with each of those pledges every day, and we do our calendar. We talk about the month, the days of the week, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We talk about all those things. We also do straws and blocks that we keep track of the days of the year. So it's gets that math concept in there of grouping. We bundle, we call it. We put our straws together and bundle them, or we trade with our blocks to groups of 10 to get that concept cemented into their heads. So even though it's calendar, it's also more of a math time that we do then. We also talk about the weather, and we do that every day and what season it is. We practice and go over our Bible verse. We have a weekly Bible verse that they learn, and we go over that every day. And then at the end of the week, they are required to say the Bible verse, and they get 10 points a week. And depending on how well they say it, they can get up to 10 points, I should say. And then after we do our Bible verse, we go over our sight words. They're called service words in the Bob Jones, but they're words that they cannot sound out, at least at that time. Some of them are words that later once they learn the rules about long vowels, that they can sound out. That's why they call them service words. And we go over those. We go over the letters and sounds almost every day. Not every day, but at the beginning of the year we do every day. And then we have a devotional every day. I use like little visits with God with them every day. And we talk about a Bible verse, we have a little story, and then we pray. We discuss it and pray. Then during that time, sometimes it's split apart. We have our special class for the day. Now that varies from year to year as to when we have that special class, but we do have special classes. We have 2 gym classes per week. We have art and music. We have library. We have computer. And once a month we also have STEAM. And STEAM is science and technology and math, and a lot of fun activities, exploring and figuring out how things work. And they love that time. They wish it was more than once a month. But we also do physical activities every day. We have a recess time. So they do, we either go outside or we go to the gym and for our recess. We have chapel every Wednesday. We have chapel time. This year we have chapel with 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade. We're split into groups, and so just keep socially distanced. We have a small group, and we go to the gym, and we hear a speaker every week. We sing songs, and we hear the gospel message every week at chapel. And I guess back to our daily schedules is after we have our special class, we go back and we finish anything that we may not have had time to finish in our opening exercises. Then we have our Bible instruction time. And we do a lot of the traditional stories. We start out with creation, and we go through a lot of the Old Testament, and then we also do parts of the New Testament. So that we do have Bible every day. And after Bible class, we usually try to do an activity or a coloring page with that. We have our reading and phonics. And so at the beginning of the year, we do one letter where we stress the sound of the letter, and we talk about it, and we go over listening for that sound, and we do a lot of fun activities. I think I showed you the one book. This is even like at the beginning of the year, the S. S is the 2nd or 3rd sound we do, but they practice writing their letters, and they put an S under the picture that begins with the S sound. So we start right in with sounds and reading. We have a book a week that we read along with our series. The first one has no words in it, but then they start and they put words in. They use the service words we've learned and words that we can sound out. Like first it'll be sit and it in the story, simple little words. But then this is one we just read, The Big Clam, and you can see there's quite a few words there. Now some of the books have purple or blue words that may have some words that they know, but those are either I help them or they do bring their books home to read for you. And the words in the black are words that they are able or should be able to read all by themselves. So on this page it was just one sentence with help, and they really know all those except for the word saw. So they really love the stories they have are colorful, and the kids just love. They were playing a game there, and some of them, like this one, is called The Bibles. It's about some missionaries getting money to take and send Bibles to Africa. So we do that in reading, and we have a lot of reinforcement kind of activities there too. So I'd say the majority of our day, or the biggest chunk of time, is in our reading class and learning our letters and sounds. Then we usually have lunchtime, and they go to the cafeteria and they eat lunch. Right now they have partitions so that you don't have to have your mask on at lunchtime, so they can eat, because that would be rather hard. But they have plastic partitions up so they can see each other, and they can still talk to each other and have some social time. After lunch, sometimes we finish up our phonics and reading, and then we go on to our math class, and we do our math lessons. Right now, we've been talking about more in depth about calendar and days of the week and what comes next. And so they should learn their numbers to 30, because that's what the calendar is. So for kindergarten, the goal is to know and recognize the numbers to 30. They should be able to count a lot further than that. We do count. Right now we're up to 100 and I think it's 17, because this is the 117th day of school. So we do count that every day. They learn to count by tens, and we do count also. And then after, we have our math lesson, we have recess time, and sometimes that math lesson is split, depends on what time we have recess, because it's different times every day. But so it could be split up, and then we'll finish our math lesson after that. Now, if they're a half-day student, right now I do have 2 half-day students. They leave shortly after that. They leave between 1:10 and 1:20. So they are still here for lunch, even if they're half-day. And it seems like it's longer than a half-day. They really only miss less than 2 hours and they do not miss any instruction time. Okay, everything from that point on is review or reinforcement. So we usually review or play a game or something when they leave, and then we have a story time. We have a rest time. They have their mats that they rest on. They have their very own mat, and they're not required to sleep, but it's just a quiet time. And I play music, or sometimes I'll play a song for them, or a story for them, sorry, for them to listen to. And we also take bathroom breaks during that time. Any other time, we do bathroom breaks during free play time, or if they need any other time, they just raise their hand, if that's a concern. So, and after rest time, we have our snack time, and then a lot of times we'll have just some extra time for another reinforcement game or activity, or sometimes we have puzzle time where they do some more structured activities. And then that's at 10 to 3, we pray and we get ready to go home. So that's pretty much takes care of what we do during the day. We do have extra help available. We have an aide that's in our room in the mornings, usually till at least around 12. Mrs. Palmer is with us, and she helps out. If I have students who are struggling with certain things, she might pull them out and work with them, or if they've been absent, she can help them make up work. Sometimes I send work home if I think it's mostly review things, but if there's new concepts, she will go over them with the students. We also have a resource room. Mrs. Shamming's in charge of that, and we have help from the intermediate unit who come in, and they help with reading and also with speech. So if anyone has needs some help with their speech, we have someone who comes in once or twice a week and works with the students. As far as discipline goes, we have, the typical rules in the classroom. Our number 1 rule is treat each other with kindness and compassion, okay? We keep our hands and feet to ourselves. We remember to raise our hand and do your best and to obey right away, okay? And if if they break the rules, I use the 3 strikes concept. So you get a strike and you get 3 strikes and you have a timeout. And the timeout's right here in the room. They sit, I have a couple little yellow chairs, and they know that they go sit and they think and pray about what they got their strikes for. And I tried to keep it a limited time, because some like to just sit there, and they would sit there for a long time. But if they haven't raised their hand to tell me what they're sorry for, then I will go and ask them. So, but they need to think, and I said, you tell them that they need to remember what they did wrong so they don't make the same mistakes again. But then, you know, once they have said they're sorry to me, and if there's anyone else that they had an offense against, they apologize for that, and then they just return to their seat, and it's all wiped away, just like God wipes away our sins. So that's my discipline problem. If I ever have a problem where a student is constantly in timeout or being disobedient, I let you know. I contact you. So, because sometimes the kids don't always say how many strikes they have, or some parents get alarmed because maybe they had 3 strikes. If you don't hear from me, it's not really a big deal. They are kindergartners, you know, they're 5 and 6 years old, and they're not perfect. None of us are. And I mean, I expect, especially the beginning of the year, that they have to learn the rules. And so first, I really don't give any strikes, just reminders. But after a while, you know, I do give strikes, and I remind them why they got their strike when I do that. So it just helps them to learn what behaviors are expected and what are not accepted. One of the great blessings of being at Portersville Christian School is that we have K through 12. And just a couple weeks ago, one of the high school English classes, as part of their assignment, they had to come and they read to our class. Each one picked a special book. Of course, it was age appropriate, and they came and they read to the kids. The kindergarten kids love it. They just love it. They love it when anybody comes to read, but they just love the older kids. They like seeing them in the hallway. They like saying hi to them, and it just gives a great chance for them to have that mixture of ages, and to know that the other kids care about them, and they do. They'll remember their names, and they say hi. Now, and that's just one example. A lot of years now, we didn't do it this year, but we have 6th grade reading buddies, where once a week or once every other week they come, and they either have books picked ahead of time, or they pick a book from my room, and they have a buddy that will stay their buddy the whole year, and they read with them, and they read stories with them. That's another time. The kids just love to have that interaction with the older kids, and it's good for the older kids to be reading to the younger kids, and it's good for the younger kids to hear that reading and to have that one-on-one attention too. So and we go 2nd, 3rd graders, sometimes the 5th graders put on plays in their room, and we go and watch them, and we're able to see, you know, what they will be doing in the future, and they enjoy all those experiences. So it's just great. I know I'm forgetting something, but it's a great opportunity for the older kids and the younger kids to mix together and to see each other, because they sometimes pass in the halls as we're going to a special or we're going to lunch. They see them, and it's nice that the older kids are always friendly and smile, and if they know their names, they say their names, or they'll say hi, and the younger children just love it. And when we have recess, we also have recess with the 1st graders and the 2nd graders. So there's a mix there too. And they enjoy having that time together. We have had the last few years small classes. This year, right now, we have 9. We started out with 8 this year, but we have 9 students right now. That's been like 8, 9, 10, 11 has been what we've had probably at least the last 10 years. We had some higher number classes before that, but we would never have more than 15. 15 is when, if we had more, we would split and have two kindergarten classes. And so the small size is great because I can walk around the room. I can see everybody when we're taking a test, or see if somebody is behind or not, not understanding what we're doing. I can help them, and like I said, Mrs. Palmer's in here a lot, and she can stop and help them. So it's nice to be able to have more, I'm gonna say hands-on, but instruction, to be right there with them and have the smaller groups. It really helps them, and it really helps whenever we do have groups too. Maybe some group doesn't understand and needs some more time. We can even split into like two groups and work on those. So yeah, the small group is a great thing, the small classes. We use the grading system, FACS, and it's computerized. I enter the grades once a week. All of the grades are entered in there, and you can see how they are doing. We use O's for outstanding, S's for satisfactory, I's for needs improvement, and U's for unsatisfactory. Okay, and so you can see where they are. You can see even like on a paper that had 9 points, you can see how many points that they got and how that rated up. I also, their Bible's on there. They get graded in Bible, math, the reading, and also I have a weekly behavior grade.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Palmer, and I'm an aide in kindergarten and kind of doing some other little jobs around the school. I've been with Portersville for 8 years as an elementary aide. Started out the first year and helped through 3rd grade, but as they saw how great it was to have an aide to help the teachers, they hired more and put me in kindergarten pretty much solely. So my day consists of a lot of great things with the kids. We start out the year really spending a lot of time with the children, getting to know them just to make sure they're comfortable here. So we just stay with the children and we make sure they're comfortable and that they are just in a position where they can start to learn and to feel happy being at school after being at home with mom and dad for so long. And so my role is to just help the teacher and to make sure she has everything that she needs. We do a great curriculum where it really entails the Bible truths, and so every day they're learning a different story and more in depth about those Bible people that have great stories that God included. Mrs. McCaslin is a great Bible teacher. She really in depth talks to the children at their level about what God's Word says. So it's really a benefit at kindergarten to start on those foundations. My day also consists with taking them to their specials. So kindergarten is very well-rounded with going to art and music and gym class and computer class. And so I go along with them and sit with the teacher to make sure that everything is good there. So in case we need bathroom breaks or different things that the students need or the teacher needs, I'm there to help out. So it's just a great day for the children. I'm only here a half a day, and then the rest of the day is play and nap time, and so not really needed to be here. So Portersville is just a great place to start. Kindergarten is a great place to start with that foundation. It's amazing to see how the kids progress through the year so quickly and are reading and knowing their alphabet and their sounds, their vowel sounds. There's just so many things that you'll be amazed as a parent to see how they have these building blocks that keep the kids in a playful mode for kindergarten, but yet it's very advanced in learning and getting them ready for 1st grade and for all the reading that they get to do. So it's kind of an exciting time to be in kindergarten. They also get to do all the kindergarten things like play. So when you come to see the room, you'll see that it's full of great toys. They have a kitchen, they have a lot of blocks, a lot of things that we as kids remember having. So it's kind of fun that they have hands-on and they get to play with their friends for a great amount of times and recess. So kindergarten, it's just a great place to be. When I began 8 years ago, my son also started in kindergarten, so we were here together. And then I have a daughter who just turned 19, but she graduated 2020 from Portersville. She started here as a 6th grader, and I homeschooled my children for Lydia for a couple years, and it was great to bring her to a school where they just brought her right in and got her on track with the school system and the curriculum, and she now really misses school. She misses the friends, but she also misses a lot of the interaction of the teachers and the Bible teaching, and of course she's very active in her church and doing things there as well, serving, but she just really misses the foundation that she had here at Portersville, and the teachers were a great impact in her life for the things that she's choosing to do next. So it's been a great experience. My son is still here. He's in 7th grade. And so he's been here since kindergarten, and I'm thankful that he had the elementary experience here at Portersville Christian School.
Thank you, Goldie and Mrs. McCaslin. You guys were very informative on your interview there. We want to make sure that our guests who are here tonight have a chance to have any questions that they might have now answered, and they can do that by actually just going ahead and typing right in that chat. We can take some questions if we have any. If not, and if you think of a question later, I think Goldie's going to talk to you about what you can do next. And actually, ladies, too, while we're waiting for questions, if there's anything else that you feel you might, maybe you forgot to mention in your interview, or you could also add that. So.
There wasn't, I don't think there was really much that we could have probably missed in that interview. The only thing we didn't really talk about was field trips that kindergarten gets to go to.
Right.
So Ms. McCaslin, if you want to share just a little bit about that.
Sure, we usually go on at least one field trip and we take turns. One year we go to Apple Castle, and then the next year we go to the Cheeseman's pumpkin farm, and we learn about the process of growing apples and pumpkins. And so that we go with 1st grade, so they get both experiences. They'll get one in kindergarten and then they'll get the other one in 1st grade. So we do that every year, and then sometimes it depends on circumstances. We go to a play in Grove City that the college puts on in the springtime. So usually we have about 2 out of school field trips.
That's fun.
All I have for you. Good.
And Mrs. McCaslin, I know, and I can't remember what you did this year, but I know we also emphasize faith in action in the elementary school, and
Right.
putting our faith into action. What do you remember? Well, of course you remember. What type of project did you do this year? And
Yeah, the last few years, my class has been doing backpack program for kids, and that is we collect food for kids in public schools who need food on the weekend. A lot of the kids in the schools, their main meals that they get breakfast and lunch at school. And then when they go home for the weekend, they found that a lot of kids weren't getting any food for the weekend. So what they started what's called a backpack program, and they put bags in the children who need it that have food in that they can fix or that's easily fixable, or like snack crackers, macaroni and cheese packets, little soup things that could be anything that could be heated in the microwave. And so we've collected that food for the schools and for the last few years. And even though we've had small classes, when I take them to the school, they've always been so thankful and amazed at how generous that our families and kids are. And our kids love it because they know that they're doing something for other kids and helping them out.
Thank you. So we were sorting through our chat, and there really are no questions, just some comments or thanks. People are mentioning that the video was very helpful. So thank you, ladies, for putting that together. So Goldie, if you want to go ahead and just wrap up this evening, telling them next steps, we will go from there. So.
Sure. So to learn more about PCS and what we're all about, come and just let us show you around. We can do so while socially distancing. Usually we would recommend a prospective student attend a shadow day for a half a day or a full day. Since that's not a possibility right now, a tour would be a good place to begin. We can put you in touch with one of our ambassadors who could answer questions from the warrior parent's perspective. And to begin our application, you can go on our website to our admissions page. And if you have any questions about that process or about touring or anything of that nature, you could just call our school and you'll be directed to who can help you with that information.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining us tonight. Thank you to our guests who have joined us. We're glad that you're here checking us out. And again, like Goldie said, if you have questions or you want to schedule a tour or do something, take those next steps. Our information is there on the screen and we'd love to hear from you. So.